Hey everybody, if you are someone who is struggling with an invisible illness, or you have a family member who is struggling with an invisible illness, please hit the subscribe button so you can keep up. I do have a lot more videos that are coming up that hopefully will provide some guidance, direction, or support even for those of you that are struggling. So please hit the like button and go ahead and hit the subscribe button so we can, touch base and hopefully get to know each other and you can find something meaningful. So thank you so much. And here's the video about the Mayo Clinic. Hey everybody. So today is January the 21st. It's Tuesday. I'm not sure when I will get this actually posted, but that's the day that I'm filming this. So as you can see, I'm back home and the sun is out. It's a little bit chilly, but I'm just happy that the sun is out because Minnesota, while we were up there, was just cold on a whole new level. We were up there during a blizzard. Wind chill, I think, was 25 below, literally. So yeah, this just feels good having the sun out, so that's why I'm doing it out here. And I also feel the need to pace because as you know, I was supposed to be there through the 23rd, and we actually got home on Sunday night. We would have left on Friday had it not been for the blizzard. So I'm not really sure, honestly, what to say about my trip to the Mayo Clinic. This is probably going to have to be a couple of different videos because I can't really cover everything that I want to say in one video, because I'm sure that this is going to be kind of confusing for everybody, because it's confusing for me, it's confusing for my family, and we're pretty down about everything, and everybody knows how excited, maybe excited is not the right word. Nobody wants to be that patient that has to go to the Mayo Clinic, but we were definitely hopeful and knew that if anybody could help me, it would be the Mayo Clinic. And so, gosh, I don't even know what part to start at. I guess I'll start with the results. And I'm going to try not to get emotional because there's too many things that I need to do in regards to this. Because at first, I wasn't even going to do any more videos regarding the, the invisible illnesses. I was just so down about it and felt defeated, and just decided I was going to let everything go. And then I had like an 11-hour drive back and was able to finally get some rest, and decided that that's just not who I am. And hopefully people, especially those who struggle with invisible illnesses, will help give me some ideas, either in this thread, send me private messages, because I know that I'm not the only one that goes through this. So I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. As far as my results, this process was not anything like I thought that it was gonna be. You think the Mayo Clinic, and you envision all these doctors prior to you getting there sitting around a table with your file there, 100% ready to see you, coming in knowing a good deal about you. And And, you know, maybe that happens. I don't know. This is, like I said, this is just my experience. I don't want to badmouth the Mayo Clinic because I know that they're phenomenal. I know that they're number one in the country, possibly the world. I know that. And I'm not putting this on them. Like, on future videos, I'm going to address the healthcare system as a whole, because it's not just them. This is a huge issue all over. So please don't take this as me bad-mouthing them, because this was just my experience. But I envisioned, because they had done a referral, an e-consultation with my doctor back in October, November, and that's when I had, you know, the lab work done, and, you know, and then we were waiting on that, and, you know, all this stuff that was going on. And so then the referral was done for me to go there, and they had to review all that. So I thought I was going in there and them having a really good idea of what my scans looked like, my charts looked like, and I was scheduled with the doctor who did the e-consult just a couple months ago. So I just wasn't prepared with how it went. And this is basically how it went. And again, I'm not judging. This is how it went. I saw a doctor that was not the doctor who did the consultation, and she sat there, did not seem to be prepared, did not know who I was, wanted to know why I was there, which totally threw me off, because I'm like, wait a minute, like, what's my opinion as to why I'm there? Why did my doctor send me? So I was completely, like, just thrown off at that question, because I'm like, well, why don't you guys tell me why I'm here? Because you guys wanted to see me. I mean, that was kind of my answer. And so she would ask me questions, but as she would ask me questions, it was all about what happened in 2015, like when I first went into the hospital. And as she was asking me questions, she would kind of stop, or like rein me in, and, you know, when you passed out, was it just 30 seconds? You know, did you get right back up? Okay. And then she would verify in my chart while she's typing and talking into a recorder. Like, it was just very like, choo, 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 choo. And she did meet with me for like an hour and a half. But it was all about the history. And I thought that was stuff that was going to happen, like, before I got there. So I'm like, okay, well, we're just getting warmed up. And then we got to, you know, the things that I wanted to go over as to the things that have really been bothering me, things that have resurfaced that I hadn't experienced since 2015. Like back when I was on the prednisone and I was on the methotrexate, you know, that went away when I started those. And I don't know if I just wasn't explaining them right or fast enough, or I don't know. But so she was like, well, just tell me what the 3 things are that bug you the most. And I'm like, you know, just kind of, and then so I went over the things that on a day-to-day basis impact my quality of life, because those are ongoing issues. But again, I never got to the things that are coming up that are bothering me, like right now, like now, that have just shown up. And then before I knew it, she said, you know, okay, you know, and she left the room, and she was gone for about an hour. So I thought, you know, she was in a room, sitting around with multiple other doctors, reviewing everything and coming back in, you know, whatever. I was patient. I sat there, played on my phone like anybody would. And then she came in with the man who did the doctor who did the e-consultation. And he was in there for like 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, the previous doctor had done the same neurological exam that I've had done a million times, from, you know, when I was hospitalized to every single time I've gone to the doctor, as far as like the neurological exam: touch your nose, do this, stand on one foot with your eye closed, how long can you do it, you know? And, I mean, I didn't go to med school. I don't know what the significance of that is. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I know I can't do it like I used to. I'd fail a sobriety test. I guess they think it's pretty good. But so he came in and confirmed, you know, that. And then he was in there for about 10 minutes. Said that he agreed with her recommendations, which I was like, recommendations? What recommendations? So that was kind of my first, you know, I guess, what happened in that first day. And, you know, I had asked about specific tests that I had, like, wait a minute, you know, I've had this test and it like specifically points to multiple sclerosis, and it has to do with a spinal tap. And it was basically presented to me, and it made me feel like they were, you know, gonna do me a favor by doing it. The same with lab works. Like, well, I mean, we can do it. They could not do MRIs because of my bladder stimulator. I have a bladder stimulator that's tiny, that's right at the lower part of my back. And I had that placed in 2016. It was an outpatient surgery. I mean, I could walk afterwards. It's not like this, it was something huge, but it prevented me from being able to get MRIs. And, you know, the Mayo Clinic knew it 3 weeks before I went up there. And even after the referral, I followed up with my doctors here and said, like, are we good? Are we sure we're going to be able to get everything done that we need to do? And nobody stopped me from going. Nobody said, hey, they're not going to be able to give you the MRIs. They won't be able to deal with the bladder stimulator. So I thought that, you know, they either had a machine that would be compatible with that, which the lady on the phone told me that my stimulator might be compatible with a certain machine. And so I thought it was worked out, or that they would take care of it down there. Not the case. And so on that first appointment on Wednesday, you know, they were like, well, we can check your labs, we can redo the spinal tap, you know. And it was just presented to me as kind of like a favor, like, oh gee. And so that's what I did. All of my other appointments were canceled for various reasons, but I'll get into that in the next video. And kind of what happened, you know, from there. So that's what happened day number 1. And I went to get a little oximetry machine so that I could go and I could sleep that night and have my oxygen tested, you know, while I sleep. And so that was done. And then on Thursday, I had lab work. I had an x-ray done so that they could make sure that the spinal tap wouldn't interfere with any of the leads or the device on my on the bladder stimulator. And then I had the spinal tap. And then on Friday was my consultation, my exit consultation with recommendations of, you know, what they thought was going on and where to go from here. So I'm going to put that on another video because I want to wrap that up and then state, you know, what my thoughts were leaving that appointment. So, you know, thank you for checking in and watching. And, you know, please, if you know somebody who is struggling with an invisible illness, you know, please let them know about this channel, because I am going to be covering some things that might help some people, because I have learned a lot through this process. And hopefully people will be able to, you know, find some helpful things out, you know, navigating this healthcare system. And, you know, my 2 friends and I maybe will be able to provide some support as well. So please pass it along, you know, hit the like and subscribe button. And I will be doing that next video pretty soon. So thank you, and we'll chat soon. Mwah.